Say, kids, what time is it?
It's kind of like watching TV, but, in your car.
104.7 The K, Mike the Intern, Jay Stevens. It is Dark Side of the Stream, episode 204. This week was my pick. Season 5, Unsolved Mysteries.
You
on
sure
Netflix.
are an unsolved mystery guy.
I love it. I mean, it's what I grew up on. It's what helped me make me who I am. But yeah, season 5, I think was out of the gate better than the last season. I thought last season was kind of phoned in.
Yeah, we thought they phoned it in last
like,
season,
man,
right?
What are we doing talking about Bigfoot again, guys? I was feeling the same way when I saw the episode list, and I was like, oh my God, we're doing Roswell again. What the hell?
Yeah.
But it was actually pretty interesting because it told the story about how up until Unsolved Mysteries did that expose about it, no one really had talked about it in a long time. The government had done such a good job of squashing it when it happened that it just kind of went out of the public. I mean, people talked about it and it was like an open secret, but it wasn't like it is today.
Well, for people that don't, a lot of younger people don't even know what Roswell is.
That's the thing.
I had Hendrix watch with me because she didn't know what Roswell was.
That's the thing. And in the 80s, when the Unsolved Mysteries original series of Stat came out and they did that expose, everyone was like, holy moly.
Let's remember the newspapers and the Army and Air Force all said, we found a crashed UFO saucer. That was the headlines.
And then
the first
within
headlines.
12 hours, they were back in those studios telling them that if they didn't change it to a weather balloon story, it would be FCC revoke time. And so you're telling all these people who are literally governed by the government, you can't talk about this. And guess what? They didn't talk about it. But I thought that right out of the gate, that episode was so good because they did such a great job, literally by the minute, detail oriented of how this thing went down. You had the guy commander on site take back the stuff to his CEO. He comes out of the office with a bunch of different stuff. That stuff's now gone. He goes, nope, this is what you found.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy the amount of cover up that went into that. And
the deathbed confessions that came
of course, all those guys
that was what was cool about this,
because they were scared shitless. I mean,
they couldn't talk about it their whole life.
What are you going to do? You know what I mean?
But then when you're going to die, you're like, well, free game now, baby.
It's some people, you get in that position, and I was talking to someone about it. Like, if we knew about it, you look at your wherewithal as far as your situation and your family and how much money, I need to make money to pay my mortgage. I got to do this. And so what's your price? Personally, if it was me, that would be the one that come out and say, we got it. Screw it. Come after me. We'll see what happens. I would think it would be worth it for me personally to be written down in history as the guy who said, screw it. I'm going to be the one to tell you whatever happens after that. But that's it. Would you do that? You put it on the line
if
to be written in history as the guy.
I'd have to have actual.
Oh yeah, of course.
Physical.
Yeah. I mean,
it couldn't be.
You were at Roswell. They crashed in front of you. You went and picked up a disc. You saw a little gray guy that was laying over there bleeding to death.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden the government's like, Jay, if you talk about this, we're going to take away your license. You don't have a job anymore.
You couldn't talk about it because everyone would tell you you're lying.
Yeah,
you'd have to have the actual alien body or a piece of the craft.
Figure out a way to keep it. Okay, let's say that you did.
Yeah, then for sure, 100%.
Yeah,
I'd go everywhere with him. I'd look around my little dead alien buddy.
He traded in 40-plus-year-old women.
Remember what happened in Brazil?
His name's Jay Stevens. He's turned his life around.
Like a ventriloquist doll.
It used to be chicks at my shows, and now it's me.
Yeah. I mean, they would definitely easily be able to slander me because when you come out in public, they slander you with skeletons in your closet. I've got graveyards in my closet.
So we got Elizondo coming to the area here in a couple
weeks.
Yes,
Lou Elizondo's coming to Atos.
We'll see if he'll let you open up with your ET ventriloquist.
Can I come out there with my doll, with my dummy, my dead alien?
Really here? No,
my dead alien body.
Oh my God, it'd be great. Either way, the Roswell episode on Unsolved Mystery Season 5 is badass. We're going to come back and talk about a couple more during Dark Side of the Stream, episode 204 on 104.7 The K. Mike the Intern, Jay Stevens back in the studio. It is Dark Side of the Stream, episode 204. We did Unsolved Mysteries Season 5 this week, and we've already discussed the last episode in that season, which was the Roswell one, which I thought was awesome.
Great one.
We'll go back to the first episode, which was crazy. It was a story about a couple that were sitting at a park in the middle of the day. It's like 4:30, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. We're sitting at a park bench, and then all of a sudden, a couple of people that are going to go floating in the river show up, and they find them dead from gunshots in the middle of the day. Crazy thing is, the people that found them look over, and they see a guy in a truck. He was there the whole time. on estimates as a roofer. How about that? Just for one second here, though. Jay Stevens has some work to do, and he's like, it's a nice day. I'm gonna go to the park.
I'm gonna go to the park and do my estimates.
Sitting in his real nice Jeep, sitting there looking at us, not even looking up. Someone gets shot within, 20 yards away from him. All of a sudden, he looks up and he sees there are cops everywhere, and they're like, what are you doing? I was just working on estimates, man. That part of the story was insane.
Yeah, I am way more aware of my surroundings at all times.
I don't know how he didn't hear gunshots go off.
I was somewhere the other day, and I asked Jordan something, and she's like, "How did you even see that?" I'm like, "Because whenever I walk into a place, wherever I'm at, maybe it's just from like jiu-jitsu training. It's like I'm always like." Bam, 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 mental picture of like the whole place, doors, people, like, so I would see people on the bench. I'm not going to just be like, oh.
It blows me away that guy was so close to them. And
that's
2 people got shot, one guy got shot twice. The girl got shot once or twice. I can't remember. But the fact that he was that close. Of course, the police, they ended up clearing him because they looked at his tablet. They could see, like, literally he was doing work the entire time. So whether he saw anything or not, he claims he didn't. I just can't believe that he didn't. It blows my mind. But basically, I think, in my opinion, after hearing the story, I don't think this was a random attack because they weren't robbed.
I have my theory.
I think personally, before yours, I think it was either the guy, these 2 were friends with benefits, and they were both either in or out of relationships, and they had come to meet each other. Now it was either the ex of the girl or the ex of the guy who followed them there and then offed them and then disappeared. I personally believe that I think
it's a love story as well. Kind of I know that they talked about these 2 would confide in each other a lot, even though they weren't a couple. But there was probably some jealousy. There might have been some benefits, but there was also probably some jealousy. So I think it was a jaded lover situation. That's what I feel too. How did they mysteriously sneak in and out? I don't know. The park was kind of isolated, though. I thought the park, when I first heard the story, I thought the park was like a park right here. No, it's like It's a little isolated. It is a little isolated.
It's kind of like the Greenway trails here in town, where there is like a trail that kind of cuts through the city, and there are parks.
Yes,
but
it was
literally a neighborhood right here,
a little away.
And then, so it's one of those situations where like it definitely. I just, for the life of me, can't understand how the police don't have a suspect. Supposedly, the people that were involved with them have been cleared.
Right, that's the thing.
At the same time,
talk to the ex-lovers. Talk to.
Could that be an alibi of a guy that he's friends with, saying, "Yeah, no, he was down in the south of the state working with me, man," or whatever? But yeah, that one was crazy. We're going to come back here in a second with my other craziest episode from this season of Unsolved Mysteries. Next on 104.7 The K. Mike the Intern, Jay Stevens, back in the studio again. It is Dark Side of the Stream episode 204. We did Unsolved Mysteries season 5. So there were a couple. I thought the mutilated cow one was interesting, but you hear from these farmers that are in these completely remote places with these mutilations that are completely bizarre, which make no sense. But there's literally nothing. It's like, we already knew all of this.
Yeah,
these are just more examples, and it's crazy.
We've been down the cow mutilation road.
It's kind of like the rehashing of the Bigfoot kind of situation. Anyway, the one that I thought was probably very close to a second, if not the most crazy one, was the paranormal partner story, which tells the story of a guy who was a paranormal investigator in the UK. He gets called over to kind of a poltergeist situation, and while he is there, has some sort of weird connection with one of the spirits that's in the house that they refer to as Becky. Now, Becky follows him wherever he goes now, and he walks around with these little recorders in his hand. He'll ask her a question, and she responds. They had multiple EVPs.
This is like next level psycho stalking. Well, even beyond the grave, I'm still chasing you down, girl.
He claims that he could not do his job without her. And what that means is, like, when he goes into a haunt or something, he communicates with her, and she'll tell him, like, there's a guy here, there's a girl
She's
here.
on that
there's
little spirit world or whatever,
this
right?
Person's bad. There have been situations where she kind of disappears because it's really bad. She didn't talk a lot. There's spirits where she'll go in and everything will just change immediately, which is crazy. But so obviously he does this by himself. Well, then there's a team that gets involved with him to disprove and dissuade. Head of the team, he takes him to random places. Scotland, and she leads him to the points of interest at these places he's not researched. He went into like the remnants of like a burned down castle somewhere in Scotland. It's literally just got a wall left.
It's all
and in a field. He goes into one of the parts. He goes, this is where there would have been a collection here. Like I'm thinking like Egypt. Like she's saying something about Egypt. The house the castle, actually, they were stealing artifacts out of Egypt in the 1800s before it burned down. How the hell would he have known that? How the hell would she have known that?
Either it's a real slick hustle or he's got some spooky going on.
The craziest part was whenever they went in somewhere else and they brought an actual team to watch him while he investigates. And one of the guys had one of those like bat high frequency mics, and they're doing EVP stuff, but this one is in real time. And he picked her up talking to him in real time. He fell to his knees and started bawling because it was just like crazy. So yeah, that one was wild. What happens after we die, I don't know. But the crazy thing about it is you think it's all, jelly beans and rainbows. It's like this guy with his ghost and they're off, helping people.
Like me and my aliens,
right? There's another side to that coin. Spirits don't have to tell us the truth. They already confirmed that she lied to him about where she came from and who she is. Ooh. She told him that she was in a plane crash or train crash. They've tried so hard to figure out who she could possibly be. It doesn't match up. So out of the gate, they know that she lied to him about who she is. So their thought is, who knows? Could this be a trickster? Could be a demonic, a demon. Could be some kind of weird thing that we don't know.
Do they know if she's hot or not? Because I would love to have a hot ghost that lies to me. Lie to me. I don't care.
And that's how Jay got possessed by a succubus and died within 6 months of being possessed by the succubus because I don't care. She's hot, but she's still in your soul, buddy. Either way, we're going to come back with our reviews. Dark Side of the Stream next on 104.7 The K. Mike the Intern, Jay Stevens back in the studio one more time. Dark Side of the Stream episode 204. Season 5 Unsolved Mysteries. I'll give this one a better shake. I think we did like 2.5 last time. I'll give it 3.5, maybe 4, about 3.75.
I'll go 3.5 with you. I'll go 3.5 with you.
I thought it was definitely a better foot forward than the last season. It definitely felt like they did a lot better investigation. Even though we're rehashing the same old stuff. Like you said, though, your kid's in, the teenager.
Yeah, she's not familiar with Roswell.
She had no idea what Roswell was.
And Roswell was the first real big government acknowledgement.
Yeah, so you got to kind of remember that, even though you and I have been wearing aluminum foil hats for the last several decades.
Aluminum underwear.
That we don't, we got to remember that there are a lot of kids coming up that have never heard about some of this stuff.
It's our job to keep it going. Go talk to Lou at Atos.
So next up, it's Jay's turn for the documentary. What are we watching?
I got 2 choices, but I think I'll go with Into the Fire on Netflix. I'm going to warn you now, it's a little slow, and you're like, don't give up because it gets crazy. And those are the best ones I like is when they have big plot twists. So. It's about
only 2 episodes.
Yeah, it's a nice easy one too.
Man,
it's a nice
that's
easy
what
one.
I'm talking about.
Like I said,
I got to kind of forecast to say how many.
It gets it's a little slow. It's like, okay, where are we going with this? And then it's like, what? Oh, whoa, okay. Now I'm in goosebumps. Look at that, I got goosebumps just talking about it.
Nothing gets this guy aroused like a crazy documentary.
Well, I don't know about that.
Either way, you can watch this to us live Thursdays 9 a.m. or on YouTube or Facebook during my show at the same time, live on the air, or as a podcast on our 104.7 The Cave app. Jay's does it at 6 p.m. on his show as well. And watch that documentary. Like, subscribe. Again, I'm Mike the Intern. That's Jay Stevens reminding you. We watch documentaries. So you don't have to. It's Dark Side of the Stream on 104.7 The Cave.